first, I want to dive into Major League Baseball last night. I know also a lot of people were watching the Braves-Dodgers series as well as the Rays going up against the Astros. And let's start with that Braves-Astros series, which probably, I know certainly on the show, has a bit more interest. I think we got a couple of play calls for you. The Braves got up big in this game, and I believe we have Dansby Swanson with a ground rule double to make it 7-zip.
Breaking ball hit in the air to right field with authority toward the corner. That ball is in for a fair ball and bounces over the fence. Darno will trot home. Albies will have to go back to third. It's a ground rule double for Dansby Swanson. It's a 7-0 Atlanta lead.
All right, the Braves were cruising at that point, and they would eventually go up, I believe it was 8-3, something like that, into the bottom of the ninth, if I'm not mistaken. And then things got interesting. Cody Bellinger, here is the moment when it seemed like the Dodgers might make the Atlanta Braves look like the Atlanta Falcons when it came to giving up a huge lead. Here was Cody Bellinger's triple that makes it 8-7 and leaves him on third base with the tying run.
The 0-1. Line drive, right field. That's a base hit. One hop off the wall. Will Smith rounding third, and he will score. It is 8-7 as Bellinger arrives at third base.
All right, and then with Dodger Nation believing maybe we can avoid the 0-2, here was what it sounded like, the final call from the Braves radio network.
Melanson gets his sign from Darno. 0-1 pitch. Pulled on the ground to the left side. Riley's got it. Throws across. Braves win! The Braves hold on to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Braves now lead the National League Championship Series 2-0.
All right, so now the Dodgers have to win 4 out of 5 games. Let's presume it goes 7. They either have to win 4 straight or they have to win 4 out of 5 against the Braves to advance to the World Series. Let me bring in the Dodger fans on this show. By the way, we heard the end of this game in the car driving back. My 10-year-old's a huge Braves fan. We've talked about that on this show. And one of the first things he said after the Braves won was, wow, what do you think Danny G is thinking right now? So, Danny G, what are you thinking? How nervous are Dodger fans now being down 0-2 in this series? While you answer that question, I'm going to look up the latest odds in terms of the Dodgers were a decent favorite to win this series. That obviously has flipped now that the Braves are up 2-0, and they are substantial favorites tonight to potentially get back to 2-1. And again, we'll see what happens. But in terms of the futures on this series, let's see. The Major League Baseball NLCS, the Braves are now minus 275 to win this series. And so, Danny G, your thoughts?
Well, it feels like the Dodgers are trying to pull their best impersonation of the LA Clippers here and get Dave Roberts potentially fired the way the Clippers did to Doc Rivers. He won't get fired because he's been the puppet for the Dodgers front office, but it's been frustrating. Obviously, up to this point, the Dodgers had a really good postseason. Even Kershaw, and you didn't get to mention that, he was a scratch because of his back. Hopefully, he will be available for Game 4. I love the fact that the Dodgers didn't show any quit there at the end of the game. 7 runs in 3 innings. Bellinger standing 90 feet away, and then the Braves fans all got to exhale, including your son Lincoln. Shouts out to him. Got to tip your cap to the Braves on their 2-0 lead. I mean, they're a really good team. Maybe the bats for the Dodgers are awake now for Game 3 today. We'll see.
All right, so that is Danny G, Dodger fan extraordinaire's thoughts. Roberto, your thoughts?
I think the Dodgers are finished, man. Teams down 2-0 in the 7-game series are 3-28 all time.
Oh, that's a stat I didn't know. 3-28 all time.
Yep. Last time to win it was to win the series down 0-2 was a 0-4 Red Sox.
And they came back from 3-0 down, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The Dodgers, they look lifeless throughout the game. They got obviously the bats got tight tucket syndrome. Usually when it comes to baseball playoffs, that's what happens. I'm not buying the momentum of they scored these runs in the last game, but they're gonna come alive this next game. Momentum is the next day starting pitcher, and I think it's over, and if it's gonna be over, it's gonna be over early. Julio Urias is a pitcher who usually struggles during the first 2 innings, so if the Braves are gonna get him, they're gonna get him early.
I'll tell you this: there's no Braves fans out there in America. There's no Atlanta area sports fans out there at all that are feeling confident. Like they are the perpetual. The shoe is going to drop. We're going to find a way to lose over historically the Braves in the postseason. Not only that, but certainly the lasting legacy of the Falcons collapsing on that 28-3 Super Bowl lead for many people kind of epitomized Atlanta area sports fans and what their experiences usually are. All right, let me bring in the other series. Obviously, I think we have a little bit of an audio highlight, if I'm not mistaken, and then I'll bring in Eddie Garcia and get an update. We've got a dominant performance so far by the Tampa Bay Rays, who won Game 5 against the Yankees, and last night took down the Astros for a third straight time. Suddenly, Jose Altuve can't make plays at all in the field. Here's what it sounded like as Hunter Renfroe got a 2-run double.
Swing and he pops him up. Foul, first base side dropping. Fair or foul, it lands. A fair ball. Here comes Wendelin to score. Here comes Kiermaier to score. To third base, Adames, he holds. It's a bloop double for Hunter Renfroe, and the Rays have a 5-1 lead.
So we may be headed, who knows, for a Rays series against the Atlanta Braves. As I said, nobody would have predicted that. Eddie Garcia, what you got for me?
Well, Week 5 of the NFL, as you know, came to a close with a rare Tuesday night game in Nashville. Also a battle of undefeated teams, and the Titans roll over the Bills 42-16. Ryan Tannehill, quarterback for Tennessee, had 4 touchdowns, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground, and Derrick Henry had a couple of rushing touchdowns as well. Bills turned it over 3 times. Tennessee did not turn it over. Josh Allen, 2 interceptions, quarterback for Buffalo, to go along with 2 touchdown passes. Tennessee's now 4-0 on the season. Buffalo is now 4-1. NFL news: the New York Jets released running back Le'Veon Bell. He'll be a free agent at 4 p.m. Eastern time today and can be signed by any team. Postseason baseball, Game 2 National League Championship Series. Braves hold off the Dodgers for an 8-7 win. Freddie Freeman, 2-run homer, drove in 3. Ozzie Albies, a homer, had 2 RBI in the win for Atlanta. LA did score 4 in the ninth, had the tying run on third with 2 out, but they could not push that tying run across. Atlanta's 7-0 this postseason, and they lead this series 2-0. Game 3 American League Championship Series, Rays over the Astros 5-2. Tampa Bay sent 11 men to the plate in a big 5-run 6th inning. Joey Wendell and Hunter Renfroe each with 2 RBI. Tampa Bay with a 3-0 series lead, 1 more win, and the Rays are going to the World Series. Now back to Clay Travis in the Geico Outkick the Coverage Studios.
All right, when we come back, we will give you, maybe I'll get ready to give you top 5, bottom 5. We'll continue to unpack everything that took place in the major events going on for Tuesday night and more.